The next item here is the withdrawal from the Paris Climate Treaty.
After taking over as the 47th US President, Donald Trump has withdrawn from the Paris Agreement, which is the global climate change pact signed in 2015 to reduce greenhouse gas emissions worldwide. Hello and welcome to The Print. I'm Akanksha Mishra, and today we're going to be talking about what the US exit from the Paris Agreement means for the global climate. In an executive order passed on 20th January, Trump ordered the US ambassador to the United Nations to immediately submit the notification to withdraw from the Paris Agreement that's housed in the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, or UNFCCC. While it will take a year for the withdrawal to actually come into place, in that period, the US already plans to stop all financial commitments, not attend meetings, and even revoke the US International Climate Finance Plan, which is a 2021 Biden-era plan to provide financial assistance to countries to help them with climate adaptation. Aarti Khosla of Climate Trends says that these kind of policy reversals in the US show the risk of inconsistent climate commitments in such a critical decade for the environment. Leaving the Paris Agreement will make the US the first ever country to do so out of all 193 signatories. Early in 2017 too, when Trump took office for the first time, he had chosen to withdraw from the Paris Agreement. But the Paris Agreement's Article 28 does not allow parties to leave the legally binding pact until after 3 years of its ratification. Since the US had ratified the agreement in 2017, it had to wait until 2020 to actually withdraw from it. Right after, when Joe Biden assumed office in 2021, one of his first decisions was to rejoin the agreement. So, the US had technically only left the Paris Agreement for less than a year last time. But this time, the decision seems more terminal. The move has already drawn flack from US and international leaders, with a group of 5,000 plus US governors, state and local leaders, all under the coalition America All In, vowing to continue to uphold the Paris Agreement's goals of keeping global warming limited to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. The executive order from Trump's office said that the US government needed to put its people and their interests first, and that these kind of international agreements do not reflect the country's values. It also said that agreements like this steer American taxpayer dollars to countries that do not require or merit financial assistance in the interest of the American people. On the other hand, Simon Steele, the UN Climate Change Executive Secretary, said in a statement that the global clean energy boom, worth $2 trillion last year alone and rising fast, is the economic growth deal of the decade. Ignoring it only sends all that vast wealth to competitor economies, while climate disasters like droughts, wildfires, and superstorms keep getting worse. He asserted that the door to the Paris Agreement remains open for any country. Along with leaving the Paris Agreement, Trump's other climate policies will include a focus on drilling oil and gas, which could be potentially bad for energy efficiency and clean energy around the world. R.R. Rashmi, a distinguished fellow at TERI, explains how the biggest impact of Trump's climate policies will be the drying up of global resource flows into climate change, since the US is the source of global tech and finance. India especially will see a dent in private clean energy investment, since the US will now shift focus away from it. That's all we have for today. Thank you for tuning into The Print.